time. Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right. Welcome, Warriors, World Patriots, my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I am the host of the Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes our duty, folks. It is the last day of May. It is May 31st. It's Tuesday night, 2022. I've got a co-host this evening. Tammy the Hammer Nation is joining me, and we've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. A lot of stuff breaking. It's been in the news this morning all day, and some of it I've been watching right side. They're at Arizona right now, and we're going to talk about that last. But I'm amped up. I'm ready to go. Let's bring Tammy in. How's it going, Tammy?
Hey, Mike, it's going really well. I'm ready to go too. If people only knew how juiced up you were, you can't sit still.
I've been wanting to go since about 6:20. And And for those of you who are new to us through Twitter or through True Social, we have a 10-minute intro. We start right at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That may have a new look here real soon, right, Tammy?
Yeah, yeah, we're working on some cool stuff, and it's always
Yeah,
exciting when you can redo some stuff and freshen it up a bit. So stay tuned to LWN. It's only the beginning.
it's only the beginning. And, you know, it's the 10-minute intro was really cool to allow people to build up because I started doing that because I get started in a show and 20, 30 minutes in, everybody be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I got tired of all the questions. So we just built the 10-minute intro to give people time enough to show up. So that's what we do. But that's changing here real soon. And I'm looking forward to that. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, please blow that thing up, get the algorithm up, share this out, like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do so. It also allows you to be part of our live chat as well. We have a filter on that because of all the wonderful bots that
Mhm.
like to pop in here, but it is what it is. But man, I'm excited for tonight, Tammy.
I am too. We had a decent amount of time off, so to speak, and there was so much stuff going on, but today really a lot popped. So it was nice to have a little bit of time away, but now I feel like I'm having withdrawal, and it's like I got to really slow down because there's so much to get out there and want to do. But it was a nice weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Had a moment to take in what the day meant, what Monday meant yesterday, and pay honor and homage to those who have sacrificed all and who still sacrifice for our country each and every day. They're the heroes in this world, our military. So it was nice to take a pause and show respect and admiration for all that has been done through them, and it's still being done, Mike. So I hope you had a nice weekend too.
The weekend was absolutely amazing. And it's never long enough. But I was excited to come back to work for sure. And believe you me, I was on the phone with Jeff B. I just really paid attention to what was going on in the news because I felt like if something was about to, pop off, Jeff and I talked over the weekend. I said I'm ready to go. So anytime, any place, anywhere. If you guys are not subscribed to LWN, you might want to do that because if something pops off, if Jeff calls me, anybody calls me and lets me know something's going on, we'll put it out there. So um, I'm very flexible on my time when it comes to that kind of stuff. So pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and it's an exciting time. Like I said, there's a lot going on, and we've had the slow times and the worry times and the times of nothing's happening, and now we're starting to see a lot of things happen. And it's not like everything's turning out the way we think still, but the point is there's stuff happening. I think there's a big method behind the madness of what's going on, and you just got to keep the faith. And what we're going to talk about in a little bit, the Sussman trials, a good example of that. I have
Yes,
theories.
it is. Well, I was watching Trump this weekend, and he said something. He said something that kind of stuck with me. He was on Hannity, and Hannity said, a lot of people wanting to know, is Trump running in 2024? Have you made your mind up? So we're going to start tonight off with, he said, yes, he has made his mind up. So what does that mean? I believe, it's my opinion, but I believe he'll run again in 2024. But this is what I think with everything that's coming out in the Sussman trial, with everything that happened in November 2020, I'm hoping, I'm praying the guy gets 2 more terms. I'm gonna just say it.
Yeah. You know
I'm
what?
just gonna say it.
Just
Uh,
say it.
uh, nobody's put that out there for a long time. I know that we talked about it quite a bit when this all kind of started unfolding earlier last year. We talked about, with everything that he had to endure for his first 4 years, with 2020, what happened in November of 2020. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say 2 more terms of uh, Donald Trump. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm going to say amen to that. And I back that 100% because it almost, you think about all the stuff the man accomplished in that first term, Mike, after all he faced and endured and everything they put him through. Can you imagine what it'd be like him serving a term without any kind of fallback like that he experienced and them going after him like he did or they did? So I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, nothing's impossible. You got to keep the faith.
Nothing's impossible. When we do our part and we fight and get this country back,
Yes.
we the people have the say, not the politicians. So if we want 8 more years, then I'm going to say 8 more years.
Well, I'll tell you, for a long time, I think that people lost faith in we the people. You know, they like there. You can't beat the government. You can't beat this. You can't. Well, this is the way it is, and all these lame excuses that we've set back and made excuses for being lazy. And now we step up and we're stepping out and we're seeing all the different things going on in this world. And you know, we're trying to take it all back. And we have to take everything apart and put it back together the way that it should have been in the first place or the way it was. But being lazy is not the way to get this country back. And you have to be active. You have to pay attention. And we can't say that enough. And when it's all said and done, we still have to stay, you know, vigilant. There's no slacking anymore.
Nope. Well, Tammy, I'm going to let you start things off tonight. Tammy is the hammer. She's going to bring the info. She's gonna squash it tonight. And with that being said, you guys, we have a Monday Podbean that Tammy and I do. That is the Warrior and the Hammer. If you guys haven't caught that yet, I would advise you to subscribe to Podbean. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music too. But if you want the live show, check us out over there on Podbean. It is a place where we can go and talk, and we're not filtered, we're not censored. And I upload that to all kinds of different platforms. But if you guys want to catch the live, check us out on Podbean. That's where we go to talk freely, and I really appreciate that platform.
Me too. I love it. Well, to get it ball rolling, you know, Biden, Mr. B has said a bunch of crazy stuff over the weekend. One of the things that caught my eye was he said the U.S. will intervene if the C place invades the T place. And I thought to myself, you know what? That's all he said. There's never a strategy. He's not strategic. He just puts stuff out there. He flails around when he goes off script. And every time that happens, somebody has to go back and clean up the dirt. You know, the man's got 40 years of experience in politics, and you would think he would be able to rail it in or have some kind of strategy behind what he says, but he doesn't. And you know, it'd be like you going out there and say something, Mike, and then me or somebody else on your team having to come back and say, "Oh, Mike didn't mean that. He meant this." And you know, when you have to explain away the president's comments, that's a sad state of affairs, and that's not something he should be putting out there about that big C place. You know, it's unbelievable that he said that on top of other things that he was talking about this weekend. But you would think he would learn not to go off script is what I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to make, it's never gone good for that man when he's gone off script. And I don't think I want to have the thought of us getting involved in that over there. Do you?
Well, this is not the first time that he said that. This is actually the second time that he's referred to that. I was listening to Trump today, and he says, you know, in that instance, I would probably be quiet about that. I wouldn't say anything, kind of like the element of surprise, if you would. But him making that statement, I'm paying attention to that, to China as well. And I think I think it's very possible that that happens. Do I think it's going to happen immediately? I've watched Monkey and a few other people. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. There's some really good, I guess, opinions out there of when it would happen. I think it will happen. I just don't know when. I think China is going to cross the border. They have been running the flyovers. They've been running air interference for quite a while, and I think that not only is that going to happen, but watching Monkey, he thinks is that a prelude to what they'll do here on our shores here in America. I don't think China be that stupid. That's just
Right.
my opinion. I think if China was going to do anything to America, it would have to be cyber and or other. threats like that. I don't think that for 1 second that they would think about invading. But yet again, our southern border is an absolute mess. I mean, think about it, Tammy. They could run half the Chinese military right up through the southern border, and when would we find out until it's too late? You know?
And they'd give them gift cards and free transportation, don't forget, and
Yeah.
phones even if they needed
Hmm.
it. Brian, there's Representative Brian Mass was on Fox this weekend, and he was talking about foreign policy and Mr. Biden saying that. And, he said, when I talk to people, they care about inflation, the open borders, like you just stated, baby formula, and the lack of, and all that. And he said, he goes, I've gone around and asked the Dems and said, hey, we need to have an oversight committee. We need to find out why what we did with that $40 billion we gave to the Ukraine. What did we get for it? What are we actually getting for it? You people push this forward and say we need to send that money over there. What did you actually get for it? What's the breakdown? What's the breakdown of trying to fix inflation, these open borders, the baby formula? We need to focus on us. And the Dems, he said, didn't have any answers. That they just are mum on it. They just rather just stay mum on it, go with their plan. And then when Mr. Biden comes out there and spews that kind of craziness, they just come back and say, oh, he didn't mean that. Or, Jennifer Granholm, who's the energy secretary, said that Mr. Biden is obsessed with recovering prices and everything getting back to normal. He's obsessed with it. I don't see that from him at all. And interesting, Granholm was the governor of Michigan back when I was living there. And I'll tell you what, people really liked her, but she's changed her tune a lot. I've watched her change her tune. And I think she's one of those people that have been maybe bought or sold, sold out, bought or and sold both, so that's kind of sad. She was a great lady when she was there in Michigan. So she's out there standing up for them. And, I just don't get it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, so old Peppermint Patty, Jen Psaki, she had the nickname Circle Back Girl. I've got a nickname for the new press secretary. I'm going to call her the Pause Girl, because she, you're talking about Biden and the cleanup effort. After every time he opens his trap, his staff has to come in and try to clean up a mess, and he's actually getting pretty frustrated with it. He's getting pissed, and there's some people that are on their way out of Biden's staff, to be honest with you. But the new press secretary, she doesn't have answers for any of that stuff. She said that the disinformation board is now on pause. She alluded to this isn't something that they're going to go out and censor free speech, which we all know that that's a lie and that's
Mm-hmm.
BS.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly that's what they're going to do. But she's now her new term is, well, we're going to pause that. We're going to pause that. So we got circle back and we got pause. Is there anything that this administration can do right, or are they just nothing but an absolute dumpster fire like I refer to them all the time?
It is a dumpster fire, and anything they touch turns to a fire. It's destruction. It's ridiculous. I can't think of anything. The man can't even speak. You stop and watch Trump, at these rallies and stuff, and he the stuff that he remembers. And I know that there's a screen that scrolls stuff, but he goes off the cuff too, and he can do that. Biden can't even stand there and have a solid answer. Neither can Heels Up Harris. I mean, she's just spins around and around and around. I mean, she's crazy when she speaks. And then the only thing that she ever does that's consistent is her little cackle, like that little, oh, I can't stand that cackle. So it's just an embarrassment anymore. And another thing that I found out that the Biden administration, well, it's the Biden Foundation is involved in, Mike, and this disturbed me a lot. We always talk about how they're coming after the kids in so many different ways. Well, in Arizona, their education department, they have this new website that came up, and it is cyber rooms for cyber chat for kids. And kids 10 and under are going to be involved in the gender spectrum chat room. Kids 13 to 19 are in the Q chat space, and they're going to have a variety of topics. Now, what are these topics? It's all about the sexualization, the pronouns, the are you trans, are you not? Do you prefer animals? Do you not? Or do you identify as an animal? And it's all kinds of stuff like that. Okay. And the sad thing is they do not have any age verification on that site. The only thing you do is when you sign up for that site, you put in your birth date, and when you sign up for the forms, and other than that, there's no validation for any of it. Who's who, what's being discussed, how bad is it? Is somebody being bullied? Is somebody being groomed? We don't know what it is. And then the worst part is at the bottom, there's a continuous scroll that says click or tap here, and it gives you a quick escape, which means it gets you out of that chat room and it takes you right to another chat room. That way your chats can stay private and they can still keep going. So I thought to myself, that is so disgusting. And it's through the Arizona Education Department, and it's the Biden Foundation that is one of the partners behind these kind of chat rooms for these children 10 through 19.
Absolutely sickening. Stick with us, folks, because we do have some breaking news coming out of Arizona. I know a lot of you are watching Right Side Broadcasting, and so was I. And there's just some other things that I want to talk about, some things that were just sent to me as well. So here's some data points connected to what you're talking about there, Tammy. This stuff. So Biden, and I want everybody to listen to me. Biden has made comment that the Second Amendment is not absolute. Now, this is breaking. I just heard this before we went on air. So I want every one of you guys out there listening to like, to share, to subscribe, and get the message out. There are your state representatives right now, and I think they were doing this in Arizona, and this is where I got it out of, was Right Side Broadcasting. They are actually breaking the rules when it comes to House rules and how they hold meetings, who's allowed to be in those meetings, so on and so forth. And there are a lot of states out there behind closed doors in the dark of night trying to pass gun laws right now. I want you guys to listen to me. That is something very concerning to each and every one of us. So I want you guys to put that out there, let everybody know, pay attention, send an email to your state representative, call them on the phone, say, hey, what is going on? And what is this that I'm hearing? Because they're doing it in Arizona and they're not telling anybody about it. There's other states out there that I know for sure are doing it as well. So after the shooting in Texas, they're using that for their catapult to once again chip away and attack our Second Amendment. And I want you guys to really understand that. That is a very serious thing. And we can't stand by and let that happen. We won't concede. We do not consent. Something else that I wanted to put out there is the Second Amendment, and then also Hunter's laptop. That is also something else that is coming back to the forefront. It's in Peppermint Patty's terms, it's circling back, and I think this is really going to be some pretty big damning evidence, not only for Hunter himself, but for the entire family. So that's also back out in the news that I wanted to let you guys all know. When people say nothing's happening, oh, I totally disagree. There's so much happening right now. One person, myself, couldn't possibly put all the information out that's out there right now.
It's rapid fire out there. And speaking of that, let's talk back about the guns, Mike, and the fact that, every time something happens, we keep circling back to, we need to take the guns away. And this is the whole thing we've said before. These politicians and people are protected by people who are armed. So who is going to be without the guns? It's going to be the likes of the normal people like you and me. Well, you won't be, but I mean, you and me, the average citizen. But these politicians are still going to be protected by it. And who else is going to have the guns? Are the bad guys or the corrupt people, the cabal people. It goes on. Do you think they're going to abide by that? So what's going to happen? Just like with what happened, which was the tragedy recently with these children, if somebody would have been armed there, maybe we could have done something about it. How many times does this have to repeat, and nothing being done about it? They always come up with the solution. They come after our Second Amendment rights, and it's ridiculous. And then it's just a circle because it doesn't pass and it doesn't go through, but they do not train. People who are trained in handling guns in the schools, in churches, in public places, there is nothing wrong with that, because it's not the good guys, the NRA people, because I think the NRA, they don't have a statistic on anybody that's went out and done these bad things, right? Because I think I read something about that recently. It's always the bad guys. So what are you going to do if a bad guy comes up to you saying, you know what, I gave up my guns because the Second Amendment, they said, they took it away because too many people die from guns. Please don't shoot me. It's absolutely absurdity. There is no sense to it whatsoever. What makes sense is arming people, train people to protect the children, protect churches, protect businesses. And then once the bad guys realize they can't get away from it so easily, it'll settle down again. And you, not only that, Mike, look at places like Detroit, Chicago and stuff. They don't seem to care about the weekend shootings that go on and on there every single weekend in these cities.
42 shot, 8 dead in Chicago over the weekend. And here's the thing is the NRA does not sell guns. I saw that in a meme today. I thought that was excellent. It was on a billboard or something. The NRA does not sell guns. So quit blaming them. Do I think that they can take them? Absolutely not. There is over 400 million firearms here in the United States that we know of. So do I think that they can round us all up? Like one guy said today, I'd sure hate to be the officer that has that job to go out there and try to confiscate all of our weapons. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen unless we roll over and we walk up to them and hand them in ourselves. They will never take our guns. Period. I don't believe it. They would have one hell of a fight. 4 million firearms just here in America alone. So, and then you got our brothers and sisters to the north in Canada. You don't think they wouldn't jump in? I mean, come on. But I just want people to be aware of that. I want you guys to know that your elected officials are breaking the law when it comes to holding special sessions. Okay, they're holding special emergency sessions. They're breaking the law doing it. And then they're also trying to pass gun laws while you all are sleeping. So just putting it out there for you.
To pay attention with it. Don't you think that the criminals, if they knew that they would be facing fire back, that would make them think twice? Right now, they don't face anything. Nobody really faces anything. You see videos going around in some of these cities where people are going into stores and just taking everything they want off the shelves, and they're told
they are
not
right
to,
now.
to stop them. Like, what kind of crazy clown world are we in?
They just had a video where people went into like a Target with trash bags. They went into the beauty section and started just grabbing everything on the shelf, throwing it in their black trash bag, and walked out, and nobody stopped them. I mean, what has America really come to? Seriously.
Right. Absolutely, Mike. I totally agree. So, that's just another thing.
I mean, in my neck of the woods here, we'd open a can of whoop ass on somebody like that, and we would probably get to them before Walmart employees or even the police officer. To be honest with you, I'm not going to stand by and watch somebody come in and shoplift like that. I put my boot up between their two cheeks where the sun don't shine, and then let the cards fall where they may after that. But when is America going to stand up? I saw another video where this lady was getting beat on a subway, and instead of people standing up and helping her, they all pulled their phones out and started taking video. I mean, that frustrates me to no end.
Well, this is interesting in chat. Sheila said that she just saw the Dems failed miserably on the gun control per Wendy Rogers. Woohoo. So maybe that went to the wayside. We'll see. But, that's the whole thing, Mike, that, like I said before, if people know, bad guys especially, know that we protect ourselves, that we're carrying it, that they will face repercussions. How about jail time? They don't even have to worry about that. They let them back out for overcrowding or this or that. Or remember that for a while back there, they were releasing them. The Dems were releasing these guys out back into. And how about close the borders and not let those people in with the guns and everything that they're coming in. It's not good, all good people that are coming through the border. So how dare you say you want to take our guns away, but you got wide open borders with people bringing in Lord knows what through the borders. How much has come in through there? Because they don't check them, they don't stop them, they escort them to wherever they want to go.
Well, here's something that was sent to me a few minutes ago. Says Hunter Biden's emails confirming weaponized biolabs in Ukraine. Joe Biden knew, and he needs to resign before he's impeached.
Oh, I like that.
I won't say who that was sent to me from, but I'm sure everybody in chat could figure that one out. Let's move on to Sussman, because there's a lot of meat on the bone for Sussman too, and a lot of things that are happening. I know when I was watching that breaking today that he was found not guilty. My first knee jerk reaction was I was pissed, to be honest with you. I'm like, oh, here we
Yeah.
go, sweeping it under the carpet, right? And I bet a lot of you out there listening tonight probably feel that way as well. You probably think, oh crap, they're going to get away with something else. Hold on, pump the brakes for just a second here and hear us out. I know Tammy brought something to my attention earlier, and I thought what she had said would make a lot of sense. And then I had somebody else that I talked to on the phone that connected the dots for me as well. So we're going to talk about that. So let's talk about Sussman.
Okay, so and then remind me.
Take a breath, Tammy. Take a breath.
No, you take a breath. You sped past me because I got something else about Hunter I wanted to talk about.
Okay, all right. Tell us about Hunter.
I'm like, whoa pony. Okay, so what came out recently, Mike, about Hunter Biden's laptop is there's audio that you can listen to where Hunter talks about his dealings with Patrick Ho himself on an audio track. Okay. Patrick Ho is the spy chief of China, and he's the one who started the company with Hunter's partner, and his Hunter's partner was worth $323 billion. Remember, he's missing, right? They haven't found him yet, have they? Did I miss the boat on that? Yeah, because in this thing he talks about
he
missing.
was there for a while, really.
Yep. Right. So then he said, what happens is all this recording has been authenticated by a cyber forensic expert, and he talks about also Hunter offered to be Ho's attorney, and Ho paid Hunter $1 million retainer, and Hunter was going to be counsel to him related to U.S. law and advice pertaining to hiring, legal, and analysis of any U.S. law firm or lawyer. So Hunter got paid $1 million from this Chinese guy, this chief
to be
Chinese
a lawyer
guy.
When he's not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of sounds like somebody else getting paid to be president, but they're not really president.
Right. Well, this
kind of runs in the family.
It kind of does. Well, this whole guy also went to prison. He got out, but the first person he called when he got arrested in 2017 was Joe's brother. Okay. And brother James, and his brother James said, oh, this call was meant to go to Hunter. I don't know why I got it. So basically, Hunter also had in text, he implicates Biden over these involvements over 3 decades with these people, 3 decades. So, we know that the emails and a lot of the stuff were released off Hunter Biden's laptop. There were so many of them. But basically, my point is all this is starting to come out now and be verified. It's one thing to see it from the laptop. It's another now that it's been verified. So that was exciting news for me, because it just basically breaks down, what that breaks down to is there should be a special counsel for an investigation on this, because Hunter knowingly, willingly did this with Chinese people. And what does that? It's the Communist Party, and he was complicit in doing that. So shouldn't they investigate? Because really, isn't that kind of like a bad thing? Like a T word? What's that T word?
No, buckle up.
If his dad's involved.
I think a lot more is coming. He was compromised. The whole family's compromised. They've been compromised for decades. And, I think we're just scratching the surface. I think we're going to see so much more coming and at such a rapid pace. I'm telling people buckle up because I think before midterms, we're going to see some amazing, amazing, amazing things. So now that you
Okay.
backed us up, let's move forward and let's hit Sussman because there's a lot to talk about in Sussman.
Okay. Well, obviously he was found not guilty. But and a lot of people are upset. But then the point you have to make, Mike, is think about it like this. It's a jury of 12 people who are DC residents. It's in a
Okay, let me hit you
city.
with some numbers. Let me
Okay,
hit
go
you with the
you
numbers.
okay, hit me
Let
with the
me hit
number.
you with the numbers. Okay, so 87% of DC votes Democrats. There was 2 to 3 jurors that actually donated to the Hillary Clinton campaign fund. There was one Trump hater on this jury. So it already was stacked against them before they even started. And there was nothing really Durham could do because it had to be held in DC for whatever reason. So, with that all being said, I still think there are a lot of things. Listen, Durham is like Trump. He's not an idiot. So I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you explain your theory of things at the end of this segment. So hold it to yourself for just a
Oh,
minute.
God,
Let's
okay.
talk about. Let's talk about a little bit more about Sussman here because um, you know, even if he's found not guilty, there's a reason for that. And I think it's a bigger reason. Let me explain this to all you people. He claims that he was a concerned citizen, went to the FBI. Well, in this FBI meeting, it was around, I think it was almost 3 hour meeting. There were no notes taken, no notes taken by the FBI, no notes taken by Sussman. Boy, that's a little strange, isn't it? And then he said that he is there on his own cognizance, that he didn't have anything. This wasn't for clients or anyone else. It was just him being a concerned citizen. But here's the catch, Tammy. He turned around and he billed the Hillary campaign 3 hours for that meeting at the FBI.
He
Kind of a
billed them.
smoking gun, isn't it? Kind of a
Yeah.
smoking gun.
Yeah, to bill them. Yes, exactly. So he lied, but there might be a reason to that. So my theory is, like I said, I'm going to start with what you said. The numbers are true. You know, the city has for every 20 to 1, it's 20 Democrats per 1 Republican. Okay, so this to me, Durham, it was brilliant. I think that he knew that there's no way he would have been found guilty. He planned that ahead of time. Sussman is also no dummy because he's been a lawyer in that swamp for a long time too. So therein with Sussman, it coming out that he paid or got your billed Clinton's, that proves it wasn't just him. Because if he would have been found guilty and it was just him, done deal, it's over with, it's just him. But now that it's tied to her and these other people in this group, to me, that paints the bigger picture because what this did is bring out the corruption and the abuses that 3 letter agency that begins with an F did. It exposed all that. Therein, to me, creating a bigger, vast majority of people to be taken down. Instead of it just being Sussman, it can be Hillary, it can be, these other people that were involved in this. And I think that's the brilliance behind Durham. And this maybe won't even take place in DC. Who knows where it will take place? But I really believe that Sussman, to save his own hide, gave up bigger fish.
I
And I
think now I've been told, been told. Um, guys, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't hit the like button yet or subscribe, please do so. Help us out here. Let's get this information out. I've been told that Sussman squealed like a pig. That's
okay.
what I was told. Now, I wasn't in the room when he was being interrogated or when any of this stuff all played out. I was not there, so I couldn't tell you if that's true or false. But I can tell you this. In most investigations, they always start at the bottom and they're always wanting to work their way up to the top. Now, it was verified in this court case that he reported to Hillary and that everything went through Hillary. So, with that being said, does he get off? Does he get off and he's found not guilty? I think that he made a deal. That's what I think.
Well, absolutely. Why wouldn't he? He'd be a fool not to. I mean, he's a fool anyways for being involved in this, but seriously, to save your own hide. And you have to remember this. Rodney Jaffe did testify that Hillary agreed with the Trump Russia BS. He testified that. That's part of what came out in this. Also, Mook's testimony said that Clinton approved the plan to share Trump Alpha Bank allegations with the
Yep.
media. Okay, so she agreed to that too. Also, this three-letter C agency had info on the Clintons' approval of the plan to tie Trump to Russia as a means to distract the public from, remember the email server, the private email server stuff? So there was that. And the other baboom kicker to me is Obama knew via Brennan. So all this cast of characters knew all this. And this is part of what was brought out in this trial was, remember, these are FBI notes and all these people's notes in their own handwriting. It's emails to each other. And it's in their own writing. It's like handing out, the silver platter of BS of look at what happened. And you remember the media was in on it saying, it's a lie, this and that, and this and that. So that extends the branches out to the media. If the media willingly, if they find out they knew that this was false and
the media was part of the plan. I'm telling you guys right now, everyone listening, hit that like button, please subscribe, share this video. I'm telling you right now, Sussman sang like a canary. This is going to be so big. There are going to be so many people coming down. From what I heard today, there is going to be more indictments, and even better than that, I heard there's going to be arrest. I heard that they're actually going to start slapping some handcuffs on people. And don't forget, they put this out in 2016 to
Yes.
do like they did in 2020. They wanted to capture, I'm just going to say the word capture, the 2016 election. And so this was the October surprise. Remember, they put this out to take Trump down. The media was in on it. The campaign was in on it. FBI was in on it. It's all been proven, and these guys are going downtown. They concrete boots for every one of them. So, with that being said, Trump had to battle this for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Trump had to battle this nonstop. And like a few of them said today, imagine what that man could have accomplished if he wasn't fighting off Russia, and impeachment hoax number 1 and impeachment hoax number 2. Imagine what he could have got done. He got so much done anyway because he never slept. But this also ties into what happened in 2020.
Yes.
Just so you guys know, this was their game plan in 2016. It failed. So then you got the 2K donkeys that happened in 2020, and there's a lot to talk about on that too, because that is also starting to really surface big time. Even CNN anchors, or no, what did Jeff told me that CNN wrote an article about the 2K donkeys, and then they buried it. But even CNN has reported that, yeah, there was some stuff that happened in 2020.
Well, absolutely. And that's, Arizona's they're doing the True the Vote's doing their presentation as far as the voting and the different GPS tracking and stuff they did. But that 2K donkeys, boy, that opened a whole nother can of worms, not in the justice system and all that, but obviously with, the V system and stuff. And, there's a chain reaction to that too. And, if you ask me, I think the 2K donkey movie, I think that was phase 1 of it. This presentation that they're doing, phase 2.
It's coming.
And you know what? Greg Phillips.
I'm going to say this, Trump train. Trump train, it's coming through. And they're going to plow people over.
Exactly. And Greg Phillips, who is, the expert in this, that is part of that, said, I think phase 3 is going to be this summer because he has put out there, guess what? We got a summer surprise for everybody. And that just is like, woo, it makes my heart happy because, they're trying to debunk it. They're trying to, you just do everything they can to get it off the radar. And you know what? I'll tell you what, Mike, if the geo tracking was good enough for them to use against the J6 people, and why is it not good enough to use for this? How dare they try to
that's the next
debunk it?
segment.
Okay, sorry.
You're trying to sneak into the next segment.
Okay,
But that's
I'll
okay
back
because
up.
we're ready to go. We're ready to go because we're going to talk about that, and I'm gonna drop some data points for you guys about what Tammy's talking about. Because listen, folks, keep the faith and stay the course. Okay, keep the faith and stay the course. I know a lot of you say, "Oh, if we don't fix 2020, there won't be a 2022. There won't be a 2024." I agree. And I'm telling you right now, I believe it's coming, and it is going to be a train. And I think it's going to happen before 2022 midterms. That's my belief. I'm
Me
seeing a
too.
lot of stuff catching traction. I think it's going to be a fire hose to the face. I don't think we're going to be able to keep up with everything that's going to be unleashed. And what did they say? Unleash the Kraken? Was that
Yeah,
what they said?
release the Kraken. Yeah,
Release
yeah,
the
yeah,
Kraken. So
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it's coming. Just stay the course, folks. Keep with it. If you guys aren't following us on True Social, we're over there on True Social, Liberty Warrior Nation, and Tammy the Hammer Nation, Tammy Nation. Follow us on Twitter too. I'm over on Twitter, and I like to put out little things on Twitter as well. We do updates on Twitter and True Social. If you have an Android or a computer and you haven't made it to True Social yet, check it out. It's the best place to be besides Frank Speech. And Frank Speech, you got the best of both worlds. You got Frank Speech, which is Mike
Yeah.
Lindell, and he's putting out so much information. And then True Social, and I've been listening to Trump for the last couple of days, and he's been talking it up. He's saying, "Hey, True Social is kicking the hell out of Twitter all day long," and that's a fact.
Well, he also has another platform that he's bringing out that's going to compete against the Netflix and some other things too. So we have to keep our eyes open for that too, as well, Mike. I'm excited about that. And the other thing I wanted to say about the True Social, you guys, for those of you, I've seen a couple people in there saying, I'm losing the faith and blah, blah, blah. And I get that you're fatigued. And I get that, there was promises made. But guess what? With Trump, it's almost always promises made, promises kept. Get on Truth Social. You guys will get it directly from these people. When you have Kash Patel, you have Nunes, and you have True the Vote people that are involved in this, and they're truthing all this information, your mind will be blown and your faith will be restored. It really will. I'll tell you the truth. You really will. And you know what else? They're also retruthing, Mike. I don't know if you caught this or not, but there's a letter that comes after P. And they're also retruthing some of that people's letters, information and emojis. And what's the other word? Not emojis. What are the memes, that word. So it's really impressive, you guys, on there because it's unfiltered. You get the truth from these people. You get the documents. I've said it before. I can't emphasize it enough. Mike is exactly right. That is where you need to go. You can believe us, watch us, but you say, I'm losing it. Go look at the documents. Go look at what these people put out.
Telling you. Thank you, Marjorie, for the new membership. Appreciate that. Welcome to LWN. Hey, Trump said this. He says, I'm not going back to Twitter. I'm on True Social. And he goes, and over on True Social, now listen, Tammy, we tell the truth. That's what he said. We tell the truth.
How hard is that? Is that a concept or what? You tell the truth. I mean, these people back it up with documents and everything else, like I said, and they're actively involved in this. You can't get information any quicker than that coming out right there. And like I said, it's just a floodgate. It really is a floodgate. I know that people are putting in drip, drip, flood there, but I'll tell you what, that it's overwhelming there. Like you could wake up in the middle of the night, I do, and I'm like, what's on there? I have like an average of 40 to 50 emails saved from Truth Social so I can reread through them. And I'm talking different interviews and stuff. Dinesh is another guy. You guys, these are the real heroes. These are the heroes that are helping to save our country, leading the way, risking all, that have big platforms. And then there's people like us that, are the next level, just beneath that, sharing and spreading the word. We don't have all the money and, all those kind of connections, but we have different connections that are just as important and vital. So I think that we are as important in this movement as they are, to tell you the truth. And I'm not tooting my own Trump horn, but I want to be part of the Trump train.
Oh, I'm telling you, the train is coming, and so is the storm, and it is going to be wicked bad for the wrong side. And that's all I'm going to say. Let's go ahead and roll into the last segment, Tammy, because I know people are dying to hear what we have to say and what some of the breaking news is that's coming out of Arizona today. I know a lot of people probably have already been watching Right Side Broadcasting. I think Right Side Broadcasting, in my opinion, is probably one of the number one news organizations out there today. And I appreciate everything that Right Side Broadcasting offers to all of us, because it is somewhere that we can go to get, in my opinion, the facts, the real truth. And I don't watch lamestream media anymore. I do watch a little bit of it here and there just to see what kind of crazy stuff they spin. But other than that, I don't believe in any of it. I don't give it any of my time other than to just see what they're saying. So go ahead, Hammer. Let's hear what you have to say.
Well, I'm going to say, with what I saw before we went on, because it was breaking as we came on, they are mapping out every single signal that you can imagine for this part of it. Is not cell phone towers they're using, it's that geo tracking they're using. And it literally makes a map latitude and longitude. So there is no disputing what is going on. And when you have these people going to all these different locations repeatedly and doing this, it's the same as the movie. There is no reasonable explanation for it. And when you hear the other side saying, there wasn't that many to change this, and it wouldn't affect it. When you talk, when you talk, wasn't it here that there was 186,000 missing things, and it was called by 11,000? Well, that's a huge number ratio, Mr. Numbers guy, that you're like, what? Wait. And when you have that and all these, and remember, they only did certain counties in partial parts of the states. So it's not even the full gamut of what happened. It's just a sampling, and the sampling is bad enough to change a whole lot of stuff. So that is inspiration, to see people being able to go out there, put together all this data after all this time and effort and money, and be able to show it. And then you see for yourself, because some people are visual learners, some people are audio, and some people say, oh, it wasn't enough to make a difference. You cannot watch this stuff going on and say it wasn't enough to make a difference. It makes all the difference.
It's huge. And let me for those of you who want to follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna refer to a couple of the comments in chat about Whoopi Goldberg. This is the stuff that I put out on Twitter. Hey Whoopi, come take my gun. Seriously yours, LW, aka Liberty Warrior. PS, kick rocks. That's the stuff that I like to put on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. No editing. You can just be you, LW, and you just say how you feel. And that's what America's about. It should be about, right?
Hey, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. That's how I look at it. And I wouldn't back down to Whoopi for nothing. If she wants to debate me, bring it. That woman is, I used to really like her back in the day when she was in, what was that, Sister Act, but anymore, I'm out. Like I don't want nothing to do with her. She is evil as evil can possibly be. And this is what scares me. The thing is The View is the worst show on television.
Oh gosh.
I think everybody can agree to that. Problem is there's still so many people that watch that show and believe everything that those Jack A's say. And it's horrible. It's horrible. So let's get back. Go ahead,
Wait,
Tammy.
wait,
Go ahead.
let me
I'm
make
like
a
100
comment.
mile
You
an hour. I'm
can
100 mile an hour. Like I'm ready.
Well, I was going to say with that show, I have a theory because I used to watch it long ago. But then the women became very angry and vile. And I thought, heck to the no. This is such a horrible. I get really offended when there's women that give a bad representation of women, that we're all angry and and naggy and stuff like that. And that's what they've become. And my theory is the people watching it are the ones that are angry and frustrated with everything going on in this country and this world. And they don't know what to do about it. They don't want to make an effort to do anything. So they sit there like this and they're like, yep, yep, and listen to them bitch and complain, and they just go right along with it. And that's what I think about that.
Well, see, The View was all great, and they actually loved Trump until he ran for president of the United
Oh
States,
yeah.
and then they all turned on him. Everybody loved The View until that happened. I just got to tell Rhonda, thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that, Rhonda.
And
But let's you're go,
I
Tammy, go.
remembered
You
I
got to speed it
remembered
up.
another thought
Speed
with
it
her.
up. Speed it
Okay,
up.
okay,
Speed
okay.
it up.
Well, Whoopi also said if I hear another person saying I'm going to pray and send good thoughts their way, she goes, I'm going to have a fit. I'm going to go
No, she
pound
said
them.
I will punch. She said I'll punch
Punch,
somebody
pound.
in the face. I'll punch
Yeah.
a
Isn't
Republican in the face.
isn't that wonderful? Isn't that
Yeah.
precious? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's who
unity
we should be
uniform.
looking up to.
Yeah,
That's who we should be
exactly.
looking up to, right?
Okay, I'll
All
zip
right.
it
All
now.
right,
Go
let's
ahead.
get to the last segment. Let's hit the last
Okay.
segment. Let's
Okay.
talk about Arizona. Let's talk about Greg Phillips, and let's
Yes.
talk about J6, and let's talk about the GPS tracking and all that stuff, because I think it's important. I know a lot of people know about it. A lot of people have been watching this stuff, but I want to hit it because the reason why I think they're in Arizona tonight is because they're getting ready to kick off something really, really big. And I think this is just like this is the calm before the storm, and it's getting ready to just get wicked, wicked bad.
Well, the thing is with Greg Phillips, people are really attacking him now and trying to debunk all his efforts and work and saying, it could be shimmied this way or shimmied that way. And like I said, there's not that big of margins to
Well,
even
here,
be.
let me give you the numbers. Let
Go
me
ahead.
give you the numbers, Tammy.
Okay,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
I was watching Dinesh today, and he was laughing because there's been a couple of people that have tried to debunk the 2K donkeys. Um, and he just laughs, and I laugh about it too. And one of the things that they said was the geo tracking can be off by 2 to 10 meters. Okay. Now, I don't know what 2 to 10 meters are. I'm guessing somewhere around maybe 3 yards. I don't know, maybe 10 yards, something like that. But anyway, regardless of that, this is what he said. What Phillips has also put out, because Greg Phillips is the professional. He is the geo tracker guy, right? He said the problem is if it's off that far, that's fine and dandy. When somebody drives past one of those drop boxes, but the problem is they didn't drive past. They stopped. And this is where he really tore them a new ass. He said that's why we decided to do 10 or more drop boxes, not one, because people drive by drop boxes all the time, but specific calculated 10 or more drop boxes. And on top of that, they tracked them going to those nonprofit warehouses on top of it. So again, people who try to debunk this stuff, I just laugh at them. They have no business even trying to do this, because they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They've got it. They got it all, and they're taking every one of those SOBs down. I'm telling you right now, it is coming, and it is coming hard.
Well, and the disappointing thing is Fox is still boycotting that movie. Fox is also allowing the lies about the movie to go unchecked. Also, Greg put out, he said that the mules is true, it's factually accurate, and it exposes the cheat. And the New York Times did a hit piece on them yesterday, and and Fox is doing stuff. So you tell me, if it is all fake and stuff, why would him and this Catherine who runs True the Vote, why would they risk all this? For what? For what? For what? That's the other side of the coin. You got to ask yourself, why are the people that represent you or the media not participating in finding out the truth and actual information and trying to hide stuff if they want your best interest. Why? Because they don't want it. There's a very few that care about you as a person because they're all in it for themselves. They want the control, they want the power, they want the money. And they're all intertwined. They have each other's backs. That's why we as patriots have to have each other's backs. And it's time to stand up and fight. It's not time to be agreeable or have nice, calm conversations. You got to get a little fired up here and there. You know that it's time for that. So
Yeah,
he's being attacked for all this, and it's always hearsay, Mike. They don't ever have the numbers and the data.
anonymous. There was anonymous caller, anonymous this, anonymous that. There's never any proof of anything when they try to debunk any of this stuff.
Absolutely, it's just a bunch of name calling, and then they'll
And
have it just.
Fox has been sold out to, shame on you, Fox. Any of you people over there at Fox listening to LW, and shame on every one of you guys for not standing up for what's right.
Well, the thing is, Greg also put out, which he's like one of my new heroes. Like these are the heroes. These are the people that people should be paying attention to and have their kids following and looking up to and realizing they're standing up for what's right in our freedoms. You know, get away from the music people, get away from, celebrities. Let's go. Let's bring people like Greg Phillips to the forefront, and Catherine from True the Vote. He was saying that he said to Fox News, he called them morons. And he said, it's one thing you choose to stay silent while 2K donkeys went viral. But he said it's an entirely different matter that you have chosen to lie to the world. He goes, game on, boys and girls. This dude's got some sass. I like it.
Yeah.
He's got
He's
fight
got
in
some
him.
stones. He's
Yeah.
got some stones. And Dinesh and his wife put out that this actually the 2K donkeys was going out in movie theaters. I think there was over 300 of them across the United States over Memorial Day weekend. So they can't stop what's coming. I'm telling you guys are all listening right now. Hit that like button, share this out, share us out on all your social platforms, and subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate it, because they cannot stop what's coming. This is all crazy, what I'm seeing unfold right in front of us, and I'm excited. I haven't been this excited for months and months and months. And like you said earlier, if they use this geo tracking for what happened of November of 2020, then why couldn't they use the geo tracking for J6? This whole J6 is a bunch of hogwash. These are political prisoners. They're held without bail, without representation, without their day in court, and it's high time that the voice of America is heard loud, proud, strong, and we say, you know what? Enough's enough. It's time to release these political prisoners.
Yes.
We need these people to come home to their families, because if they can geo-track what happened on November of 2020, then you know damn well they tracked what happened on J6, and that was all a bunch of BS.
And that's why they got to try to debunk it, Mike, because then everybody would know that it's a bunch of BS. And there were people in chat, and Tina's one of them. Greg is on True Social, you guys. Look up Greg Phillips. That's where he's at, and you'll see it. You can actually brave him. Use the Brave search engine, and you can look him up there to spot for his name and stuff, and you can find him there. People were asking, and it is a lot to keep up with, but like I said, and you've said, it's so exciting and it's fun. It just seems we see light at the end of that tunnel. It's there, and we just have to hang on. And I think, my gosh, Mike, look at how many years Mr. T's been fighting. Look how many years Nunes is fighting. Cash went through this back in the day, remember? And finally, all these years later, he's finally getting justification for all his hard work and what we thought was slaps in the face and nothing would ever happen. These guys dug in, and they've not left the trenches. They're there to the end. They said they're staying to the end. So that gives me hope too. These people are great leaders, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Here's something else that was sent to me. Fox News is reporting, listen to this. Fox News is reporting SCOTUS is halting counting on the mail-in pieces of paper. I can't say who or where that came from, but I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Just putting
A
that out
special
there.
friend. A special
Mhm.
friend we all know and love. Okay.
Well, it's being reported on Fox News, so it's already circulating, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, man, there's so much of this stuff that's catching traction. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna go live whenever and whatever time I need to put this stuff out because I want people to get excited. I want people
Mhm.
to get excited about where we're headed because we've all been in this battle for a long time when we've gotten worried, we've gotten weary, we've
Yeah.
got exhausted, we've been tired, even myself would just want to throw my hands up sometimes and say, you know what, I give up, but we can't. And I'm telling you right now, Trump, listening to Trump in Casper, Wyoming this weekend and looking at his detail, here's a little tidbit for you. Here's a little tidbit. Trump's security in Wyoming was out of this world. Crazy. Like badass. We're
He is.
talking badass. But
Yeah.
then but then there was a tweet on Twitter where it showed old poopy pants there, Biden, at a public terminal loading his own bag in the back of a red SUV.
Oh, I missed that.
Just a
Oh,
little
wow.
tidbit, just a little
Wow.
tidbit, because what is that? I mean, what's that all about? When have you ever seen a president of the United States carry his own luggage
No.
and then use a public terminal like like he flew coach, like he flew coach or something, and then he's getting in a it was a maroon SUV. When has the president of the
That
United States ever done that? Never.
oh my
Why is he not on Air Force One? Why does he not have the black SUVs? We've already seen him lots of times only have two or three vehicles in his motorcade. He's
mhm.
not the president. We all know he's not the president. He's not my president. He's never been president. He's never going to be president.
Right.
We already know who's in charge, and we already know what's going on.
Yeah. I have to make a confession. I do believe if I ever saw that motorcade of his in person, I'd probably be screaming like crazy, jumping. I'd be a crazy person because there's such an excitement and an energy in the air with that, and such a sense of country and God and everything else, and unity of everybody with that man, and just the military, and the police and everything. And you're just proud to be an American when you see that. You're like, you know what? This man loves God. These people that are supporting him love God. They want what's right for the country. Just fair. What is wrong with just being fair? And it goes to being back when you're in kindergarten. Can't everybody just get along? Can't we all just get along, live and let live? And it doesn't happen. Nobody fights for that. There's so much evil and greed and power hungry people on this planet anymore that when you see something like that, it's hard to forget. When you look at the Trump parade with the boats and everything, I get tears in my eyes because it's been so long since we've had anything like that, and we need it back again as soon as possible.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna steal something from Dan Bongino. I follow Dan Bongino on Twitter, and he puts out every day. He puts out every day. Today is May 31st. Joe Biden is still the worst president in U.S. history.
It's true.
That is from Dan Bongino. Just so everybody
Yes.
knows.
Yes, and you're sharing it, you're spreading it, you aren't stealing it. It's okay. I'm sure he doesn't mind, but it is true. It's just a reminder. It's terrible, and but there is hope. There is hope, and there is strength. I see it in people more and more, and I'm proud to be an American fighting for this country in every way that I can at this time. There's no fear. There's no fear. There can't be any fear. That's how they win.
Okay, here's another little tidbit I'm going to drop to everybody real quick before we wrap this up. The fence is still up around the Supreme Court. There has not been a decision written yet for Roe v. Wade. Okay, there was a leak a month
Mhm.
ago. There still hasn't been anything that's come out yet. And now they're stopping the Supreme Court. What did it say? What'd
Hmm.
that text say? Let me read it one more time.
It's hot off the presses, everybody, as they used to say.
um, SCOTUS is halting counting. So I'm telling you
Wow.
guys right now, it is.
So
There's a
near.
lot coming. There's a lot coming. Buckle up. Grab your whatever you want to have. I'm not going to say the other thing because I got tired of hearing that. But I'm telling you right now, um, we're gonna see some really amazing things here very shortly. Very shortly.
Yes.
Hit that like button, folks. If you guys like the show, hit the like button, share it out, subscribe to the channel. That way you guys can interact in the live chat. We put a filter on that so the bots can't jump in here. So if you guys are missing out on the chat, just subscribe and like and share this out. Really appreciate it. Tammy, I'm gonna roll into final thought. We've covered a lot of stuff tonight. One last little thing I'm gonna hit you with before we roll out of here. Did you hear over the weekend Nancy Pelosi's husband suffered a DUI?
Right here in the corner, Mike, was my little ending note. Pelosi's hubby arrested, DUI.
I
Not
beat you to
only
the punch.
you did, you stinker, but you know what also happened is he was in an accident an hour before that as well. It was hitting
Hit
a
and run?
fence or something.
Hit and run?
It was him hitting a fence or something. Nobody else was involved. It was just him. And then he kept driving. You would think he could afford. He could afford to hire somebody to drive him. And you know, people made jokes all weekend long about, well, if I were married to her, I'd be the same way. The dude should just pack up and go to Fuji or Tahiti or something and just get away and just kick back in the sand until whatever happens happens, instead of getting in a car driving. What an embarrassment. And there's other things that are coming out too, that they're, you know, but this hasn't been validated yet, that, you know, it tied into some kid things and this and that. So I don't want to get.
In chat.
Did
I
you?
see
Yeah.
that in
So
chat. Yeah, I see it all over chat. They found certain things on his possession as well. That hasn't been verified yet. I'm not saying it's not true, but I haven't. I just seen a little tidbit of it. My question is, at 82 years old, and your wife is the Speaker of the House, and she already goes by the nickname of Two Scotches In. Why is he even driving? Why doesn't he have a driving service or Secret Service all over him or whatever? Just seems kind of odd that he's out there drinking and driving anyway. I think the whole family probably drinks and drives. I don't know. It's just
that's crazy. It just was a bizarre story to me. You're right, Mike.
but
It's just bizarre.
if it's linked to other things, it kind of makes sense.
Yes, yes. But I don't know. It just, there's not anything that good that ever comes out with these people and their family members. It's unbelievable to me. It just keeps getting worse and worse. It's ridiculous. But yeah,
I couldn't even write a script to all this. It's just beyond crazy.
I couldn't either. I couldn't either.
So many people say you drink too if you were married to her.
Yes, that's what was going around. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, somebody, Rhonda said that Pelosi paid for in law enforcement not to put everything in the report. Well, that's an interesting concept too, Rhonda. You know what? I didn't even think of that. Should they probably, like, she probably wanted to go away. I wonder. Tennessee Ridge Runner.
Tennessee Ridge Runner wanted to make sure we all seen that one.
That's awesome. Wow. You really have to have a sense of humor sometimes. You really do, because it's unbelievable, the stuff that the SHI, you know what, show that's been going on in this country. But you know what, to bring some laughter back and to see some things happen, it's awesome. It'll well be worth it in the end, for sure. I say that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it now.
That was your final thought. Nancy Pelosi was your final thought.
Yeah, Nancy
Pelosi. Better than that?
No, not this weekend for what happened with her husband. I just think that's the icing on the Dems crap cake for now. It was just a little something.
All right. Well, here's my final thought. Trump said, "This is the calm before the storm." Promises made, promises kept. And I have yet to see anything that Trump has said that hasn't come true. So I want to reassure all of you guys, yes, keep our faith in God. It is all in God's hand, God's plan, God's hand, God's vessels. God uses people in this whole thing. But I'm telling you guys, man, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Choo choo. Choo choo. It's coming. The train is coming. It's coming. It's
Coming
coming. It's
down the
coming.
track.
So just stay the course, folks. We'll get
Mhm.
there. All right,
Yes.
Tammy.
All right.
That's pretty much it for tonight. So I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow on the news. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Liberty Warrior Nation Trinity for devotions if you guys want to join us for that. And then I'll be back tomorrow mid-morning for headline hits. And I got a pod bean tomorrow and then another show. I can't wait till tomorrow night. I'm going to bring some more stuff. And then Thursday night's ladies' night. So
Mhm.
it's a short week, but it's going to be power packed.
Yeah. Can we end the show on a toot toot Trump train?
Absolutely. All right.
Okay,
One,
ready?
two, three. Toot,
Toot
toot,
toot.
toot.
Good night, everybody.
We the people. All right.
People,
Love
that's
y'all.
right.
Have a great
Bye.
night.
God bless.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can